Good morning, Year 4. This is Monday, the 22nd of February. I hope you're all up and rearing and ready to do some maths together. For this week, we're going to be looking at lots of multiplication facts, actually for the next few weeks. So it's going to be quite exciting and quite important, actually, that we learn our tables facts. Now, last time we did our multiplication together, I set up a Battle of the Bands tournament, and I'm going to set up another. It was pretty nail-biting stuff last time, and it really was a very close finish, and quite exciting to see how many people took part. So we're going to start off another Battle of the Bands against 4S, 4SR and 4ER, and I wonder who is going to be the leading band for this time. Remember, it's more you play, the more points that you get for your actual class, and then they are all added together, so you don't have to do anything fancy on it, just play, and it will really help with your maths that's coming up in the next few weeks. Just as usual, to let us get our brains ready for mathematizing, we will start off with some mixed calculations. So if I'll share my screen with you now. So if you have a look carefully there, you can see that I have selected 3 mental method calculations and 2 you probably want to use a written method for. So hopefully you've got your piece of paper and your pencil ready. I would like you to pause the video and have a go. Okay, welcome back, guys. I'm hoping you have had a go at solving your calculations. Let's have a little look at what we've got here. So I've got 5 multiplied by 7. Now I'm going to use my times tables facts to be able to solve that one, and I know that that one is going to be 35. My next one is 9 times 12. Now, again, if you know your facts, you will know that 9 times 12 is going to be 108. Now, if you're someone who is still practicing your 9 or your 12 times table and is not quite sure, you're going to have to come up with another way of actually solving it, because the answers, unfortunately, don't just pop into our brains. So we have to find a way. We don't give up, we find a way. But you could do 9 times 10, which is 90, and then 9 times 2, which is 18, and then you need to combine both of those answers together, and I'm sure you could solve it like that. This one, 9 divided by 3. Well, I'm still going to use my tables facts, because I actually know that 3 times 3 is 9. So using one fact, I can find out lots of other things. The next one was a written method. Now, having a glance on there, I know it's a written method because I can spot there's going to be an exchange needed. So if I've got 9,132, I'm sure lots of you decided to use a column method. And underneath, I'm hoping you put them 1,584. Now, make sure that you still remember to put your symbol, so that anybody looking at your calculation knows what you've decided to do. And I'm hoping you are using a ruler for your line, so it will look a lot smarter than how I've done it. So let's have a little look here then. So I have got 2 add 4 is going to give me 6. I'm then going to go, right, well, that's 30, add 80, and that's going to give me 110. Okay, now to help you out, because I know some of you still struggle with that one, really what I'm saying is these are my 10s, that's going to give me 110. If you are someone who's not still sure about that, you could still think of it, well, I know that 80 add 30 is 110, but I also know that 8 add 3, that is my 11. So that's how I can jot that down there. That's sometimes easier for you. The same as this one, I could do 100 add 500, add another 100 is going to be my 700. That's no different to me going 1, 5 and 1 and adding those together. So remember, as long as you're understanding how it works with a place value, it's thinking about what method works for you best. And then finally, I could say I've got 9,000 add 1,000 is going to be 10,000. But equally, I could go, well, what is 9 add 1? There is my 10. Okay, so I've got my answer there. So always practice saying your number, especially when it's a larger number like this. So we've got 10,000, 716. Finally, I have got a division one here, and I'm going to have a go at doing the bus stop method, because that is a method that we have been practicing. So I'm going to be saying, well, set it up like this. Again, I'm hoping you're using a ruler. This is how many threes are going to go into 5. Well, 1 3 will go into 5, but I've got some left over. So I have got 2 left over, and I'll put it there. So now I'm going to say, well, how many threes will go into my 26? Well, I know there is going to be 8. Again, because I'm going to be using my tables knowledge, because I know that 3 times 8 is 24. So that means I know I've got some left over. So if I go 24, 25, 26, I know that I have got a remainder of 2 left over. So again, it's using what you know and applying it to those different situations. Let's have a look at what we're going to do today. So you can see we're multiplying 1-digit number by multiples of 10, and we're going to use our place value to help us with that. And we're going to be really focusing on our 6, our 7, and our 9 times tables, because those are the ones that we need most of our practice on. They're our tricky ones, our new ones for year 4, aren't they? So again, keep playing on your TT Rockstars, keep saying your tables out loud is going to really, really help you. So we're going to apply our knowledge of our tables, and we're going to apply our knowledge of our place value. And if we need, we're going to be using a different resource maybe to support our tables recall until we've got it instantly. Okay, so let's have a little look then. So I'm going to use this phrase here throughout our teaching, and I want you also to practice saying it out loud. So this is saying 40 times 6. Well, I quite like maths, as you know, but I don't know my 40 times table. But I do know 4 times 6. And I know that 4 times 6 is 24. So I'm now going to, oh dear, my pen's gone a bit funny. There we go. So 40 times 6. But that's still not 24. It doesn't seem right. So actually, I'm going to use this phrase here. When you multiply a number by 10, it gets 10 times larger. So the digits move 1 column over to the left. So that means then I would have space to put the 0 there. Now be really, really cautious, because I know lots of people's tendency is, oh, you just put a 0 on the end. It doesn't actually work in all situations. So use this, and this will really support you. This one, I've got 40 times 9. Well, I don't know 40 times 9, but I do know 4 times 9 is 36. So to work out 40 times 9, I'm going to use my phrase. When you multiply a number by 10, it gets 10 times larger. So the digits move 1 column to the left. Absolutely fabulous. And this one, I've got 30 times 7. Well, I know 3 times 7 is 21. But because I'm doing 30 times 7, all of my digits need to move over to the left, which then means I've got space to put in the 0 there. What about the last one? What do you think I'll do for that one? Could you say it along with me? 90 times 6, but I do know 9 times 6 is 54. When multiplying a number by 10, it gets 10 times larger. So the digits move 1 column to the left. Absolutely fabulous. Well done. And well done if you actually said it out loud. It's going to really, really help you. Your turn. Okay, so on the practice it, you've got very, very similar calculations. Again, if I know, then I also know. And using this sentence stem here, when I multiply by it is the same as multiplying by than by 10. So think about how you're going to be using these sentences to help you solve these. So remember, you don't need to know your 60 times table, but you know your 6 times table. So if I know, well done, 6 times 6 is 36, then I also know 60 times 6 is 360. Absolutely fabulous. Well done. It's really good. Okay, have a go. Pause the video now and see if you can solve the other 3 practice sets. Well done, guys. So let's have a little look now at your do it activity. So the do it activity is very similar to what you have just done. And it's really important that as you're solving it, you're saying in your head, if I know, I also know, and avoid saying just add a 0 on the end. Remember, you need to say you're moving the digits over when you multiply by 10. Okay, it's really important. So I'd like you to solve your do it activity. After your do it activity, there is your secure it. Your secure it activity again is, can you explain why Coco is incorrect? Now, look really carefully at it. You can solve it. I know lots of you like to tell me what the actual answer is, but could you see if you can be a little bit of a detective and also tell me what Coco has done to make this error? Sometimes if we spot somebody else's error, it reminds us not to do it ourselves. And finally, you have got a Deepen It activity. Now, the Deepen It, there's 2 levels of challenge today, depending on how much of a challenge you're up for. I'm hoping some of you will be up for both challenges today. So if you look at it, you need to fill in the missing digits. So I've got a 1-digit answer here. Multiply that by a 2-digit number. It's going to equal this number here. And this is a 3-digit number. And you've got to have a 6 in the tens column here. So what could your options be? Now, there is 2 ways that you could answer this. You could answer them as separate 3 different calculations, and that's our stage 1 challenge, which will be a really good place for actually everybody to start on. For your challenge 2, you're going to solve it again, but this time, can you solve it as a group? So actually, of those missing digits, you're only allowed to use the digits 0 to up to 9 only once. So I would say have a go at any old digit to get used to it, and then see if you've managed that. Could you challenge yourself again to only use those digits 0 up to 9 only once? I wonder how many of you are going to be able to solve those challenges. How many is up for it? It might not come straight away, but it's a little bit of trial and error is going to be really helpful. So remember, you don't always have to get it right first time. It's about who's going to persevere. Now, if you're still on the journey of learning your times tables, something that you can do to help you today to solve today's activities is actually to write your times tables out and play TT Rockstars. The more you actually say and chant your times tables out loud, the more likely you are to learn them off by heart. It's quite interesting. There's a tiny little bit in our brains which is actually designed to learn our times tables and to remember it. But the only way we get to turn on that switch in our brain is if we say it out loud. So that's why we like to chant our times tables out loud when we're normally in school. And it's going to really help you practice them. So try and find today some time that you can actually say your times tables out loud, even if you're working at home. It's going to really help you. Have fun with your maths, and I will see you all tomorrow ready for your next session. Bye all.